lot of opportunity in AEW to do a lot of really special, memorable, landmark things in the wrestling business. Matches that they could have done, but they just decided they didn't want to. And now, for the second time in some cases, that opportunity is fucking gone, and it's never coming back. The Elite versus the Undisputed Era. Because at one time you had all the members of the Undisputed Era either on the record being employed or about to be. And you've always had 3 or 4 members of the Elite. The Bucks, Omega, and Page. You could have done that 8-man tag or that 6-man tag, but you didn't. And you teased it, but you didn't do it. That would have drawn so hard from those hardcore NXT fans. Didn't do it. You've had Ibushi show up a couple of times now. When are you going to do Omega versus Ibushi? At Forbidden Door 2024? You fucking better. Because the longer you wait, the less appealing that's going to get. Because the more wear and tear Omega's going to have, and the less good Ibushi looks in the ring. And we just saw that at AEW All In. Omega versus Okada. Why are we not doing this again? It's always good. It's going to get less good the longer you wait. Okada's come in. What are you doing? Singles match. Okada, Omega. Meltzer will give it 8 fucking stars. Guaranteed. Why are you not doing that? That's
doesn't matter how good it is.
No, it could suck and it will still get 5. Jericho versus Punk.
Oh.
Why the fuck?
Oh. The last chance we'll ever get to see that.
That will never happen now. Jericho Punk, even though Jericho's like, I don't want to work with it. Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. And you know he did. The Hardys versus FTR. When you brought the Hardys in, you had the chance to do the Hardys versus the Bucks, and they finally did it, and it meant nothing because they'd already put the Hardys under. They kind of got him back over, and then Jeff's stuff. Not going to have the shine it once had. They could still do the Hardys versus FTR, but at this point, I don't even think I want to see it. The window was there, and then it closed. So now when you do it, it's probably going to suck. This one means a lot to me. Malachi Aleister Black versus Don't You Call Him Buddy Murphy. They had one of the greatest 3-series matches of all time in WWE history. Black won them all, and it led to Murphy joining Seth Rollins and AOP. But their matches were legendarily good and always got a standing ovation. That's how good these are. You got both these guys, and you got Murphy, and you immediately put him in a group with Black. Why are you wasting these 2 men? You put them against each other on a pay-per-view. It doesn't have to be your main event, but almost guaranteed it will get as much, if not more, interest and buys as the main event of that show, because that's how good these 2 guys are in the ring together. Their chemistry, almost unparalleled. It's so good. It can go 5 minutes, it could go 20, it could go an hour, and it's still going to be good, no matter how long it goes, no matter who wins. That's how good these guys are together, and you're wasting it. You're not doing it. Bryan Danielson versus Cody Rhodes. What the fuck? 2 of the greatest living wrestlers, actual wrestlers right now. This didn't happen. This did not happen. Why did this not happen? I don't care who's the babyface. 2 baby faces. Both. I don't care. Just do this match. It writes itself. The story would have been incredible because both guys are such good storytellers. And turns out, pretty damn good professional wrestlers. Who fucking knew? We didn't do that, though. We didn't do that. Because we had to do, Danielson joining the Blackpool Combat instead. Right? Yeah, that shit's more important. CM Punk versus, I don't know, Kenny Omega. Pretty sure that would have drawn money, even before the fallout, and especially after the fallout. Kenny Omega, if you could have gotten him in a room with Punk, they could have worked shit out to the point where they could have worked and had a match, and it would have been gangbusters. put them in a fucking Iron Man match. That's your pay-per-view. Doesn't matter what else is on the card. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, that's a show in itself. And they both would have put their all into it. Because regardless of what you say about Kenny Omega being an actor wrestler, a play wrestler, the guy is talented. And CM Punk would have gotten everything out of him. And they both would have given each other everything. It would have been a fantastic match. Match of the year contender. But no. They didn't do it. And you'll never get to see it now. Punk versus Cody. This could still happen under a different banner. And now how great is it going to be when it fucking does? CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Do I really need to say anything? That is a match in itself. That is a WrestleMania main event level attraction, and it's going to sting all that more to the fucking fans that don't want to admit that I didn't want to see it. Yes, you fucking did, but you wanted to see it at Double or Nothing. You didn't want to see it at WrestleMania, and now your mangina hurts. I'm sorry, not sorry. Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega. Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega coming in at number 2.
They never did that?
They never fucking did that. Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes, the two stalwart single wrestlers of the Elite in a one-on-one match. They never fucking did it. And now it will not happen. They were building towards this. They had chances to do this. But Cody was always more interested in convoluting his own side stories aside from the Elite. Now we know why. And Kenny Omega was always more interested in doing trios matches or booking the women's division into the fucking ground. This would have been... It wouldn't have been Punk Omega level good, but the chemistry that these two guys had, the story may have been better. The Elite versus the Elite kind of storyline arc would have been great, and Cody would have played into that perfectly, and Omega would have poured his heart and soul into it. This would have been so fucking good. And now you will never see it. Because Tony Khan decided Punk should wrestle Kingston, and I shouldn't fight to keep Cody, and Omega should be a trio star. Like, so many bad decisions were made leading up to these departures and these firings and everything else. Like, this is a match you'll probably never see. Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. They wanted to do it from day one. They're like, let's slow play this. And now it's too late. And I feel cheated. But not as cheated as I feel for the number 1 match on this list. And I honestly am more pissed off about this than anything. Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk.
Oh.
They had the chance.
A place where they could do their artwork, not their money work.
This wasn't about the money. No, never was. Both these guys came in about the same time. Punk came in, he returned. And they started doing a yes chant during that original return promo. And he even said, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for him. And it made their hearts melt. And then when he finally did debut at the All Out pay-per-view where Punk made his in-ring return, at the end of the show, Bryan Danielson shows back up. Now they're both on the roster. They can do that match. But they're both baby faces. So we got to wait a minute. All right, fine. You don't want to waste the momentum. I get it. But then they turned Danielson heel anyway. Like, oh! It's so they can do the Punk Danielson match. Fantastic. That makes perfect sense because, Punk, they don't want to boo Punk, but Danielson, like, he's good at it. He's really good at it, turns out. He can be a really nasty heel if he sets his mind to it. So, yeah, okay. Danielson heel, Punk face, or they could flip-flop it. If they really want to do something weird and dastardly with Punk, they could make him the heel and Danielson's a safe. Oh, they could go so many different ways with this. Or they could even do babyface versus babyface if they don't want to wait. Because I don't want to wait. I want to see it now. And then, a year later, the Elite charged into Punk's locker room. all of them got stripped of their belts, but only Punk left for a long time. And then they announced another show about 9 months or so later. Collision on Saturdays. And Punk's coming back. Like, oh, I thought we missed that window. I thought we missed that opportunity. Thank God. Bryan Danielson, he's doing this Blackpool comeback. It won't matter because they've got to do that match. Like, that's an all-out match, right? That's your main event for All Out or Full Gear if you want to slow play it. Perfect. I can get on board with it. They're going to do Punk Danielson. And then Danielson did nothing. And then he got hurt. And Punk, when he came back, he just really kind of feuded with Samoa Joe, which he wanted to do. That's a passion project. And then Starks and the Elite just kind of found ways to drive Punk out after the return. And Punk saw opportunities to get out, and he took a couple sucker punches and found his way out the door. And now Danielson's not going to leave AEW, and he'll probably retire there. And Punk may just retire or go back to WWE. And you will never get to see CM Punk versus Bryan Danielson. Now, anybody that wants to clamor and argue and insist that Tony Khan is Booker of the Year or the greatest promoter or a genius wrestling mind, all I have to do is tell you that for 2 years straight, Tony Khan had CM Punk and Bryan Danielson on his roster. And not only did they never interact, they never had a match. A one-on-one match that would have been a 10-star match, would have drawn gangbusters, could have been feud of the year, match of the year, Meltzer's scale-breaking match to end all matches. And he didn't do it. He didn't pull the trigger because long-term booking or some stupid fucking reason that a bunch of homers are going to try to come up with. No, fuck you. This match should have happened within 3 months of both of them being on the roster, and it didn't. And I will never, ever, ever forgive Tony Khan and AEW for that.
And see if it just smooths itself out.
Back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you. Raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive.
Nice.